Kvark. Kvark, kvark. Russian duck. Kvark. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Kvark. Kvark? How do you... I don't... Kvark is an FPS game set in a fictional version of the 80s. I love the 80s. Did they ever tell you about it? Of the Czech Republic. The player finds themselves in an underground facility that is falling apart as they travel through it. They have to navigate through dark tunnels and will encounter many obstacles and enemies that will test their skills. Now, this is just the first impressions, guys. It's a game that I'm megally disappointed with. On paper, it just sounds great. Very Half-Life-y, I must say. You know, underground complex, monsters, aliens, all that, whatever. You know, guns, puzzles. Yeah, sounds great. But, guys, it's boring. I got bored after 30 minutes. It lacks that hook. You know, if you look at the really great FPS games like Half-Life, they just grabbed you from the opening cinematics. I mean, the opening of this is pretty decent. You know, where you start off, it's intriguing and all that. It started off well, but then it just settled into this rinse and repeat of pretty boring enemies coming at me. And I have to say, the worst thing is the gunplay. I really didn't get into the gun. I thought that it felt a little bit floaty. It didn't feel good at all. They didn't sound very good. The headshots was cool. When you get the headshots, I like that bit of the gunplay. It's not too bad, but it lacks any kind of oomph. You don't feel like you're firing a gun. You kind of feel like you're firing a spud gun. That's a gun that fired little bits of potato pellets that we had as kids. It just felt like that, like a Nerf gun maybe, to give you a modern day reference. That's how the gun, they lacked the oomph, you know, that I'm wanting in games. It was very, very disappointing. And the monsters were a bit lackluster as well. I had wanted to really play the shit out of this and finish it, but I got too bored. I'm not saying the game's bad. It's clearly not a bad game, but it's not a great game, and I don't even think it's a good game. I just think it's a right smack in the middle average game. It's better than a lot of FPS shooters that I've played, but it's worse than a lot of FPS. I think it's kind of like, if I played it a bit more, it might get better. I don't know, but I was just done after about 45 minutes. I've got so many games that I'm doing at the minute. I just thought, nah. It just failed to grab. If you're making a game like this, you've got to grab the player early on. I bet if I checked a lot of the reviews on Steam, and I haven't, but I bet if I checked them, I bet the people who didn't like it all bailed under an hour. And because I could just feel it just becoming a chore. It was just, the levels were not really inspiring levels. They weren't bad, but they weren't really inspiring. And the enemies and the gunplay on top of that, it was just over and over the same thing. Go in another room, a few more guys in hazmat suits running at you, and then there'd be a guy with a gun behind them. Here we go again. Oh, there's a little floor rat running in. It was just all the same kind of stuff, and I got bored. My brain was falling asleep. There was nothing to stimulate me enough. I had these robot flying sentry guns, and they were shooting me through the fucking walls. I mean, I died twice just getting shot literally through. I couldn't even see them. There was just a laser kind of piercing through one wall and going out of another wall, and that was like the laser sights of it. And it was just, I mean, clearly a bug. And after 2 tries, the game, I restarted it, and it wasn't shooting me through walls anymore. So it's quite buggy as well. And then I got a shotgun. I thought maybe this is going to be the saviour, and the shotgun was shite as well. So there you go, guys. There's my first impressions of Kvark. Maybe it does get good, but I didn't hang around long enough to see. I just found it boring. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Nothing more from what I saw. But like I say, only played it for 45 minutes. It might get a hell of a lot better.